If we're going to make real progress on generating cleaner electricity, it can't just be something for upper and upper middle class people to participate in. What it needs to be is something that the entire community can participate in. And by doing community solar, you can lower the access point for people, make it easier for people to get into the game, and effectively expand the market for people who are looking to purchase solar.
Community solar is solar panels on a landowner's property that generates enough electricity to supply to his neighbors or the community in general in that area. This is on, for example, 18 acres of land, and it's providing over 400 customers in the area with power.
These are homeowners that historically have not been able to put solar on their own home, and now gives them access to renewable energy. They can go out and they can drive past a solar array and say, I'm part of that solar array and I subscribe to it.
The beneficial element of community solar is that I get to be part of helping to produce renewable energy as well as get a nice return from that renewable energy. And all I have to do is say, here, you can lease this land. So it's a very seamless process from that perspective for me as a farmer, is that all I gotta do is deposit my rent check. And aside from that, everything else is taken care of. It's a very easy to manage diversification strategy.
Renewable energy should be accessible and available to everyone. So by having community solar in your community, everyone in that community has access to the renewable energy. The Chesterwood site does about 400 single home families, small businesses, nonprofits, anyone that's connected to the local grid near our area right now. Every single site is built project specific, so there's a geotechnical study analysis done prior to building that we share with all of the parties that have a stake in the project, both the landowner as well as the county, state, and local level. This particular site has one central inverter, and so all of the combiner boxes for this site get routed to that inverter, and that's where it converts the DC into AC power, which then back feeds into the grid.
One of the benefits of community solar is it works well with these farms in the sense that we're not taking up the entire farm. They typically range from, call it 5 acres to 25 acres. So it's just a portion of the property. And then when we go in and we install the project, we're driving posts into the ground. And when we drive these posts in the ground, then you have a lease for 20 years, 25 years, and at the end of that time period, the system is removed and the site's restored back to its original condition. So in essence, this is really a temporary structure that allows the land to regenerate and be restored during this time period. So the landowner will then be able to not only have additional streams of income, but also the ground will be put back to its original state at the end of the lease.
This particular farm has been in our family for 86 years. I'm 3rd generation, my son is 4th generation, and my grandson would now be the 5th generation on the farm. My sister and I both love the farm. We knew it's in our blood, and our blood, sweat, and tears is in this farm, and we wanted to keep it. So we have to supplement and do what we can to sustain it. That's where solar, for us, it's a way for us to be able to hopefully send it to the 6th generation one day. It's enough that it could, for generations to come, keep the farm in the family if the kids so want it.
So I'm the 4th generation farmer here. We have about 500 cows on this site, and then we also farm about 725 acres of crop ground, primarily corn, soybeans. When you're dealing with agriculture, your product is a commodity. It's kind of an ideal situation for me to have a locked-in, inflation-adjusted return per acre that I know works in my budget. The ability to give up a small portion of my land and diversify and get a better return for that land than I can out of the crops that I'm generating helps to kind of buoy my risk that I have in the agricultural commodity markets and allow me to have a subset of funds that I know is consistent and I know is coming.
I think it's important for us as a community, as a state, as a nation, to be giving people more opportunities to buy clean energy, not less. It's important to me because I represent a district that looks like this, that has a lot of row houses, that has a lot of people who live right next to each other. So with community solar, it allows them to get into the game and in essence generate their own electricity. This is where we really can open the door to thousands of people engaging.
My whole personal convictions, my personal faith life, and what I try and do in my life is value other people above myself. So that's one of the nice things about this community solar. That's one little way that I can know that I'm kind of giving back by providing a land that can produce energy that can help those people have access to that energy that they otherwise wouldn't have access to.
There ain't a bit of farming you can't do without the sun. I don't care whether it's raising livestock, you still need the sun to grow the crops or the food nutrition for the animals to eat. The sun is an intimate part of farming. Why not farm the sun and have that solar help the farm?